thinking about your YouTube video intro and how to introduce yourself.
You know you're doing well when you have to YouTube how to introduce yourself on YouTube. Hi guys, it's Caroline again, and today I'm going to be doing a collections video all about my pop vinyls. So if you're really interested, please give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe, which would be amazing. But without further ado, let's get started. So today this is the first video of like a mini series that I'm going to be doing, which is really going into my collections. So I have many things from vinyls, comic books and graphic novels, design books, and I really want to go into detail with them, just so then you can really get to understand who I am, what I like, and also sort of be able to share this with people who are also in the same interests as me. But for today I'm going to be starting with my first one, which is something I've been collecting for quite a few years: pop vinyls. So at the moment I have around 30 pops altogether, ranging from your regular pops which you pay around £10 for up to my chases. Now obviously to some people 30 pops isn't a lot really, so what I really want to do is really go into detail about my favourite ones, what it is about them that I really like, and so then you can, like I said, so you can get to know me a bit more and sort of understand what it is about them that I really like. This is where I keep all my pops. You can see them just as you come into my room, and I keep most of them here. I do have some in my wardrobe which I will get out as well. Don't have any room, as you do. So I have sort of like two shelves. So I have one which is sort of my normal pops, the ones that aren't any exclusives or they aren't any chases. And then below is where I do keep all of my chases and exclusives. First of all, I'm going to start off with my regular pops. So these are the ones that I sort of paid you know, around the £10 mark for. And I got these. So all the pops I had, I actually bought while I was working at the comic book shop Forbidden Planet. And this is in Manchester on Oldham Street. When I worked there, it was pretty awesome, to be honest. And in that time, that's when I started really collecting the pops. But what I really want to do is go sort of through the ones that are my favourites. So the first pops I want to show you is actually a duo. So they're in their separate boxes, but my favourite ones at the moment, Bill and Ted, y'all. Ever since I was young, I've loved the Bill and Ted films. I just think they're hilarious, and the fact that they're bringing out a third one, you know, even better. The film is so nostalgic, and it's one of those films that's become like a real cult classic in its time. I think that's why I just sort of love these pops. These are like my favourite duo pops, and I just sort of think that they're just brilliant, to be honest. One that is actually from some of my favourite films now, and this is a trilogy movie, and I just feel like, you know, everybody sort of either loves it or hates it, but for me, I absolutely love it, and that is my Marty McFly, which is actually from the second Back to the Future. With this one, he is on the hoverboard. Another one that I really love, again, it's from like an 80s nostalgia cult classic movie, same time period, you know, so it's really fun films as well. So, you know, I think it's that kind of thing as well, which is why I love this pop so much as well. My next favourite pop is from one of my favourite Disney films. It's also my favourite Disney villain of all time, Hades. Okay, so Hades has been one of my favourite villains for as long as I can remember. I think it's the whole sassiness of him, the fact that he can just crack a joke in like the worst times possible. I think that's great, and it's just his character. You know, sometimes you can sort of kind of relate to him in a sense, sort of feeling like, you know, he's being pushed to the side. You know, no one really sort of understands him. I think that can sometimes resonate with people as well, but I think it's his humour is the one thing that just gets me all the time, and I just love him. I just love him. I mean, he has fire for hair. What's not to love? So the next round of pops that I'm actually going to be discussing about are the exclusive pops that I do own. So I have around 5 of these, so varying from animations up to sort of live action films. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to again sort of go through my favourite ones, sort of discussing why it is I like them so much. And also these tend to be So two of them are from my favourite films and my favourite characters, while one is actually been signed as well, so that one makes it even more special. So I'm going to be going through them with you as well. Okay, so the first exclusive pop that I'm actually going to talk to you about is from one of my favourite films of all time, and again it's a really playful and fun film, so it seems to be a running theme with my pops, and that is actually my Scott Pilgrim exclusive pop, which I've had for quite some time now. The reason why I love this film is just for how fun it is, and also I have read the graphic novels as well that the film is actually based off, so I do know sort of the story of Scott Pilgrim versus the World inside and out, so it's something that I really, so it's a film and a comic series that I do really enjoy. So when they did bring out the film, it was just even more of a reason why I loved it so much. And again, he's just I just love his character. So for my next pop, I did actually have a different version of this character previously, but it was the sort of generic pop to this character. But then the second that I knew this pop was coming out, I had to get it and I had to change it. I just knew that I needed it, and that is my Captain America, and it is from the 2017 Spring Convention, so the Emerald City Convention, and it's of Captain America from the first film when he goes to go and save the soldiers from the camp. Even when I watched the film, for some reason I just love the style of the costume. I think it's because it suited the style of the film so well, sort of the 1940s-esque, and the second I saw the pop, I knew I needed it. Also, Captain America is one of my favourite Marvel characters. I've always been Team Cap. It does also help that Chris Evans is my celebrity crush, so that always helps. So I did mention previously that I did have an exclusive pop which I had signed, and this was when I went to Thought Bubble back in 2018, and I met this person, and not just because he wrote some of my favourite comics, but because he was also the frontman for one of my favourite bands when I was younger. I was absolutely obsessed with them. I just couldn't get enough of this band, and when I met him, I had a mini panic attack. It was the best thing ever, and that is Gerard Way. I met Gerard Way. It was weird. Just meeting one of your idols from when you were a teenager, meeting them there for, even though it wasn't for the thing that you first loved them for, the fact that I got to meet him, my inner emo was screaming. It was insane. So again, a reason why I'm never getting rid of this is more for, not just for Gerard Way because I was obsessed with him when I was younger, but because of the memory it holds of him and the event and the reason why I met him as well. So again, that's his actual signature. I mean, I met Gerard Way. Okay, so for the final section of this video, I'm now going to be sort of talking about the chases that I've collected. So if you don't know what a chase means, essentially it's a pop where they only do a certain amount of them. This is quite similar to exclusive, but with chases they're even more exclusive. So it might be that you can only get 1 out of 6. Sometimes it might be 1 out of 12, 1 out of 36. It can vary on how much they want to make this as exclusive as possible. They do sometimes do it as well, where it will be a chase and an exclusive. This means it's harder to buy, so essentially you have to chase to buy it. It's quite a clever way of actually doing it. I have 7 of these in general, but again I'm just going to be sort of talking about the ones that are my favourites. And one thing I have now noticed about all this is there's a running theme of anything that's sort of from the 80s and 90s that seem to be my favourite. The first chase that I'm going to talk to you about is actually the first one that I bought, and it's from a TV show. It's a Disney TV show, but it's an animated series, and it's from a show called Gravity Falls. If you haven't seen this, it is such a good show. They only did 2 seasons of it, which I'm really sad about. If you love anything such as Adventure Time or anything sort of cartoon, it's got like Cartoon Network feel to it, you will absolutely love Gravity Falls. But the first chase that I bought was for the character in it, and he's called Bill Cipher. Now this is sort of like the ultimate bad guy in this, and once you watch the show, you will realise why so many people love Bill Cipher. I can't really explain who he is or why he's a triangle with a top hat. Again, just watch it. It's a weird show, but you love it anyway. Once I saw this, I knew that I had to get it. It was at the time when I was really, really in love with the show. Obviously, I still love it. But I just love the design of it as well. So it kind of looks like a starry night, and I just think I love that. I think it just looks amazing. My next one is from one of these films which has become a cult classic, and it's from a film where they sort of mixed both live action and animation together, and it was sort of one of the first ones. So one of the first ones that did this was Who's Framed Roger Rabbit, and the next one that I know of that sort of did that sort of thing was for a film where it involved Michael B. Jordan, because you've got to have Michael B. Jordan in the film. It was for the film Space Jam. And this chase I got is actually of Taz, and he's in the basketball uniform that they have in like the last section of the film when they're having the basketball match. The Looney Tunes characters, Taz is one of those ones that people just tend to love. I think it's because of the film and the sort of nostalgia of Space Jam is why I love the pop so much. For this one, you've already seen a variation of it, and I did sort of mention how he is one of my favourite Disney villains of all time. I just had to. This one is actually not just the chase, it's also a chase and an exclusive, so it basically makes him even more valuable than just being a chase. And also glows in the dark. Makes it even better. Two variations of the same pop, you know you're sort of a bit obsessed with the character. But again, it's Hades. How can you not love him? Okay, so my final chase pop that I'm actually gonna sort of discuss with you is my favourite pop out of all of them. This again is one of my favourite Disney villains, and she tends to be one of the favourites out for many people. Like I said, this is my favourite one, and it's actually of the chase version of Maleficent. It is a glow in the dark chase, so it's the flames in the back of the pop which actually do sort of glow in the dark. But overall, I love this pop. I think it's more the look of the pop that I just love. You know, it just sort of seems amazing. I do have one or two out of the boxes. There was two of, if you know Supernatural, Sandy and Winchester. I did take them out of the box. The boxes were completely destroyed anyway, which is a bit annoying. And then I have my David Tennant Doctor Who pop and also Crash Bandicoot. Now obviously those two do still have the boxes, but I did take them out. These are the pops that are my favourites, and I'm glad that I was able to show you sort of the ones that I like and sort of go into discussion with that. Yeah, so that's the end of this video. I do hope that you enjoyed, and you know, I would love to know if there's any pops that you have that are the same as mine, or if there's any that you know that are your favourites. I would love to know. And I'll be back next week with a new video. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back next week. Bye.